199,
The
98,
doctor said Zainab had
97,
exactly 7
96,
days to live.
95.
But that was 3 weeks ago. Now she sat in the hospital garden, her medical gown fluttering in the harmattan wind as she counted backwards from 100. Again. Her lips moved silently, 100, 99, 98, while nurses whispered behind the bougainvillea hedge, crossing themselves though they weren't even Christian. Nurse Amina clutched her prayer beads and muttered, she should be dead. The cancer, it was everywhere. Nurse Blessing, her voice tight with fear, asked, then why is she still breathing? Neither of them noticed when Zainab reached 0. And the moment she did, a small yellow bird fell from the sky, dead before it touched the grass. 2 weeks earlier, Zainab Musa was 17 years old when she was told she was dying. Stage 4. Inoperable. Weeks, not months. Her mother collapsed screaming in the doctor's office. Her father stood frozen, trembling. Her younger brother, Ibrahim, ran out of the hospital and didn't return until midnight. But Zainab felt nothing, just a cold emptiness settling in her chest. That night, unable to sleep, she wandered into the hospital courtyard at 2 a.m. The air smelled of antiseptic and jasmine, the moon hanging low and swollen. She wasn't alone. An old woman sat on the furthest bench, still as carved stone, wrapped in layers of faded Ankara cloth. Only her eyes were visible, eyes ancient enough to have watched stars being born. Sit, child, the woman said, though Zainab hadn't made a sound. Against all instinct, Zainab Saturday, you have 7 days, the woman said. The doctor said, Zainab began, but the old woman cut her off. I am not talking about doctors. I am talking about what is. You have 7 days, and then your thread will be cut. Zainab swallowed. Why tell me? Because there is a way to add more thread to your life, the woman said. But it requires a trade. She reached into her clothing and pulled out a tarnished bronze bell, ancient, covered in symbols that hurt to look at. Every time you count backwards from 100 to 0, you add 1 hour to your life. But each hour must be paid for. Something living nearby will die in your place. A bird, an insect, a rat. The universe does not give without taking. That's murder, Zainab whispered. Is it? The woman asked calmly. You breathe, things die. You eat, things die. Life is borrowed. I only make the cost visible. I don't want it, Zainab said. Then die with dignity, the woman replied. Or live longer and bear the weight. She placed the bell on the bench, then disappeared into the shadows without a sound. Zainab should have walked away. Instead, she picked up the bell. Cold. Too cold. And before she could stop herself, she began to whisper. 100. The next morning, the bell was hidden under her pillow. She had counted all the way to 0 the night before, and when she finished, a moth had died on her window. 1 hour gained. 1 life taken. That night, she counted again, a cockroach died. Again, a gecko fell from the ceiling. 6 times before midnight. 6 hours added. 6 creatures gone. And the cancer inside her chest shifted as if confused. By day 3, the doctors were stunned. Tumors shrinking. Impossible. Spontaneous remission, they murmured. Her mother praised God. Her father wept with relief. But Zainab knew. She had counted 37 times. And yesterday, a stray cat had died while she was counting. She had tried to stop, but her mouth kept moving, 73, 72. The cat looked at her, and fell over. She vomited afterwards. But she counted again that night. Because what was 1 cat compared to her mother's joy? By day 7, the day she was supposed to die came and went. Zainab lived. The hospital whispered. Some said miracle. Some said witchcraft. Birds had started dying. Lizards vanished. Even mosquitoes disappeared despite the rain. Something was wrong with the air itself. Ibrahim confronted her in the garden. "You're doing something," he said. "Show me your pocket." She hesitated, and his eyes widened when he saw the bell. "You're killing things." "I'm trading," she insisted. "No," he said. "Not like this. When the small things run out, what happens next?" She had no answer. Because the night before, her mother's hibiscus had withered just from being near her. The bell was growing hungry. By day 14, she was declared in full remission. Doctors cried. Her parents rejoiced. But that morning, a young nurse almost fainted while Zainab counted. The bell had tasted human life. And liked it. That night, Zainab tried to destroy the bell at the incinerator. But her hand wouldn't open. If she dropped it, the cancer would claim her immediately. She whispered, "I can't." The bell paused like it was pleased. At 3 a.m., Zainab returned to the courtyard where she first met the old woman. She wanted to give the bell back. She begged for a way out. And the woman appeared. "You cannot return what has been used," she said. "You have stolen 504 hours. 21 days. The debts are permanent. Your only choice is to stop counting and die, or keep counting and become something like me." Zainab's voice shook. "What do you mean, like you?" The woman smiled, a terrible smile with too many teeth, and melted into shadow. Zainab sat until dawn. The bell heavy as stone in her lap. She thought of her mother's joy, her father's pride, Ibrahim's fear. She lifted the bell and whispered, 100. A cricket died. 99. 98. She could stop. She could let herself die. But she kept going. 3 weeks later, Zainab celebrated her 18th birthday. She went back to school. Everyone called her a miracle. Only Ibrahim saw the truth, flowers wilting behind her, insects disappearing, the family cat hissing whenever she came close. And at night, he heard her voice through the wall, whispering softly, endlessly, 100, 99, 98. Always counting. Forever counting. Because once you begin trading death for life, the only question is not whether you'll stop, but what you kill when the small things run out. Ibrahim lay awake wondering how long it would be before the bell reached for him. And in her room, Zainab smiled in her sleep. Another hour added. Only 8,759 more until she had lived 1 year past her death date. She could do it. She would do it. After all, what was the life of a few birds compared to a whole lifetime? Everything, a small voice whispered. But she no longer heard it. There was only the counting. 100, 99, 98. And the bell, cold and patient, waiting to show her exactly what kind of monster a person becomes when they love living more than they fear killing.